On the Colin Kaepernick kneeling protests, obviously we're all for supporting protests. It's something that as Americans we take great pride in that. And as far as athletes go, what we try to do, on a college campus is make sure our guys understand not only is there a responsibility to speak up when they feel something is wrong, but more importantly, be active. I'm suggesting, or I'm always advising each one of my athletes to get out and vote. I think Colin Kaepernick's protests versus racial injustice have had an impact because it's part of our daily news cycle, and each and every person that is involved in the sports community has been touched by it. In regards to players sitting or kneeling during the national anthem, we do not have a department policy. It hasn't really been discussed yet. I think the Nike campaign is one that is community motivated. They realize that the sports community is a large supporter of Nike products, and that the athletes themselves are the ones that are generating, all the revenues for all of their products. My advice to any athlete that wanted to use a protest platform versus social injustice is to completely understand the political ramifications of it, but more importantly, that their primary responsibility is to be involved.
There's pros and cons of both sides. I'm getting to a point now where I watch sports, but limited. Football or baseball, part of it, my daughter says my age. And secondly, I feel it affects the sport when people are outside of what's going on. But then again, I remember Muhammad Ali and a number of others like him that did things, and at the time it kind of like disturbed everybody. Looking back on it now, probably we shouldn't have been as disturbed as we were, and the people that felt that way. So I don't think Colin Kaepernick is Muhammad Ali, but he can do what he can do what he wants. We did not have any conversations with discussing with the players about the Colin Kaepernick protest. My focus now is basically on basketball. I don't look to look at things in a black or white or whatever situation. I look at them as ball players. During the national anthem, the kids last year kind of like locked arms. I like sort of hugged each other together and stood in a line. To them, they felt that was like unity, and to a degree. I stood at attention. The coaches sat at attention, and that's what in the Star Spangled Banner. So that was what we did. Essentially, that was it. The players that I've seen in general have a tendency to just do what they have to do in sports. They're not there to do anything. They're a college kid that's playing ball. I don't know what the new norm is. As far as it goes, I just assume them just do the standard type of thing. And that way you don't know who was watching in the stands and all that stuff. So just do the basic stuff, but that's me. I couldn't say that he'd make a difference or not. He's not Muhammad Ali, he's not Kurt Flood, not Jackie Robinson. I mean, these guys are brilliant players. They would give more of an impact. And Colin, but that's up to the businessman. I know that most companies do it for the money. Okay, they sound like very sincere about it, but in the end, the bottom line is what that counts. That's what the management would do, and that's what the board of directors would do. So that's why they did it, in my opinion. Teamwork, and I think that they should probably stick to playing basketball, and if they want to do the other stuff, they can do it on the side, like go work in communities and do everything else.
I think Colin Kaepernick kneeling to confront the racial justices, I feel like he did a good job, but I also feel like he could have, did it in a different way because it affected his job personally, but I still feel like it brought national attention, which was his goal, so I feel like ultimately he succeeded in what he was trying to do. Me and my teammates talk about the Colin Kaepernick issue. We talk about how how it's not fair that he still doesn't have a job because he's better than most of these quarterbacks that are playing now, and the fact that he's also fighting for our rights, so that makes him more like of an icon to the black community, I would say. My position now, I would not use my platform to confront the racial justices just because I'm not a professional, so I could actually get in some pretty big trouble for doing so. but the thought has definitely crossed my mind a lot of times. I would definitely support a teammate that decided to kneel. I might kneel with him depending on the feedback that he receives when he's kneeling, but beside that, I would definitely support him. Please be willing to take like consequences and criticism from fans and like my teammates for something I believe is right, because if I believe something is right, I don't really care what anybody else believes in. If I believe in it, I'm gonna stand by it. I would definitely fight for my professional career if it had to take a backseat due to me standing up for what's right and police brutality, but I will also like try to do everything in my power to still like support the issue and try to fight for my professional career at the same time. Standing for the flag really doesn't mean much to me. I look at it as like this is the country I live in. I do it more for the vets because I know that they fought and lost their lives, but it doesn't really mean that much to me. It's just like you have to stand up for the flag. I definitely feel like Colin Kaepernick deserves his job back, and I feel like he's going about it the right way, like involving the law in it, because it's not fair what they're doing to him at all.